happening right now in the NFL. So let's close it out with our unnecessarily tough rants. We call these unnecessarily tough as a tribute to our former show called Unnecessary Toughness, as well as you never know what you're really going to get. We might come really absurdly mean and just call out everybody, or we might hit you with some intellectual stuff that might actually make you think and move. So it really just depends on either of our moves. It could be a rant, it could be questions, it could be
a diatribe,
whatever. The point is, it's a 1 minute, sometimes 2.
I'm gonna need a 2-minute warning on this one.
Uninterrupted monologue.
Even though he always interrupts mine.
And you always interrupt mine and give your own take. So the point is,
clarify your points for you.
The point is, the floor is yours, KB.
Thank you. 2 things. Justin Timberlake is trash. I hate him. He's the culture vulture. Disrespected Prince yet again. Prince said before he died he didn't want anyone to do any type of like, oh, let's perform with Prince's ghost or a hologram of him after he's gone. He didn't believe in it. He didn't like it. And what do? Put up Prince's face, and JT does a terrible whatever it was supposed to be. It's like, can we just be honest? Justin Timberlake is only relevant because black people let him in the house. And somewhere along the way, you put his name on the lease. I don't know why. When he didn't build it at all. Like, if you take away Timberland, what the hell would Justin Timberlake be? He would have been a pop star that faded into obscurity. Because I hate boy bands with a passion. Speaking of culture vultures, I heard what Camila Cabello said when she talked about Dreamers. And she said how Dreamers built this country. And it kind of annoys me. Like, I obviously have a lot of Latino friends, and we understand each other. Like, some of these cats I've known most of my life. Like, I consider them brothers, people who I came up with when I was homeless and I have nothing. And, like, we didn't have money together, so we, like, fed each other, all that stuff. But when I hear a lot of people in the Latino community say Dreamers built this country, it's just like, so you just gonna spit in black people's face? Like, we didn't build this entire country for free, and the descendants of those people, when we bring this up, you poo-poo it and act like, oh, well, you should get over it. It's, you weren't slave. That whole issue, it just pisses me off. Instead of always saying,
a win for brown people is a win for brown people. So that's what it comes down to.
Because
it's like you can't just be like, oh, hey, I want that too. Like, that's how nobody gets ahead. It's okay, you got ahead, now let me help you. Okay, I get ahead.
But that's not how it's happened.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like a lot of groups will use the struggle of black people in this country to co-op whatever they're doing. And then when we need y'all help, there's a couple people who stay, but the overall agenda of the group changes to not helping us out. And that happens all the time. How many black communities have put how many other groups, kids through college? Let's talk about hood Chinese food. Let's talk about that industry, the hair industry. I just want people to be honest, intellectually honest, when they're talking about who contributed what and who really suffered the most in this country in terms of what they got back in terms of quote unquote reparations. And black people never really got just due. And I think some people, because we're in a post-racial society.
We're not in a post-racial society.
Thank you.
That's like
that's my point.
That's like the number one. That's like the era of racism that we're in, where we think we're in a post-racial society, but we're really not. We're just.
It's it's the worst era.
It's like the worst era.
Like people were being deported left ignorant. And right. Like,
listen, man. The point is you can't.
We got to be honest about racial issues in this country, and we not. And it's really frustrating to even have the discussion in general when we're not going to point out who did what and. But how we got here.
That's where it rubs me the wrong, because it's not a matter of like, oh, your suffering was worse than mine. or my suffering was worse than yours. The point is, if somebody's suffering, we're all suffering.
No.
So,
if you step on attack and I get shot in the face, we didn't suffer the same amount. That's what I'm saying. And in some cases, some groups will be like, "Oh, well, that's over now. We all got to come together." But you won't even help me on what I really need right now. It's like when people, the Black Lives Matter thing versus.
But what I'm saying is you're creating the same.
I'm not creating it. It already exists. I'm just saying
you're buying into it as well by saying everything that you're saying.
I'm not buying.
You're perpetuating it.
I'm not buying into it because
you are though, because you're saying
I still fight for people who are going through issues with DACA and everything else.
But what you're saying though still is you're still creating the narrative of like us being on the opposite team, and at the end of the day,
it's not opposite team.
We're
it's
on
like
the same team.
We all, as non-white people, have our issues, but obviously, when it boils down to it, like there's colorism issues, there's issues that we haven't solved in house yet in every group.
Exactly.
But I'm saying we got to stop distorting the history just so we can all get on the same page. We got to just be honest about the history of everything. I'm like, all right, now we move forward. It's like I have a family member who feels the need to take dumps on my life. Whatever. This is an example. It's not me, but I'm just saying, like, y'all have come to an agreement to where y'all forgive each other, but this person keeps bringing up old stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, are we going to put everything on the table and then move forward, or not? Because the way this country's going and all the stuff that Trump's tweeting, it gets worse every day, and we're all just looking at each other like, when are we going to die from a nuclear explosion? And people aren't being honest about politics and what's really going on in front of your face. And that's what scares me. Is like, you don't want to offend anyone. It's like you have to have an open discussion with people. And some people just still don't want to do that. After the election, after everything that's happened, you still don't want to have an open discussion with people about problems that y'all can fix on y'all block in y'all city. And people are still divided because of that. That's what I mean. And if that causes division in me saying that, then maybe you should kind of look inward. Because that's the problem. People don't look inward to make that connection outward. And we all stuck suffering individually.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like
I just worded it differently.
What I'm saying is like you can't call people out and then not have that same ponder within yourself. That's all. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So if you're saying let's be honest,
but no one's being honest
with yourself too.
Yeah, but no one's being honest. We're not being honest with ourselves or with other people, and we're all just walking around like chickens with our heads cut off. And I'm just like, it's only gonna get worse before it gets better.
Okay, so let me jump into my rant.
Sorry, that was kind of political.
That was really political and really deep, and sometimes we go there, but we usually don't.
It's Black History Month. That's probably why I did it, and Black Panther's coming out.
And I usually don't go back and forth with you, but I had to jump in there because you're just rambling.
Not really, but I could see how people would see it's rambling because it felt like I was arguing 2 points, and then
you were just yeah. Anyways, my thing, and I was actually going to talk about Justin Timberlake before you brought him up, was
culture vulture.
My whole thing with Justin Timberlake is, as much as he was probably a culture vulture, I think everyone kind of gave him a pass because he kind of brought his own flavor and his own flair to what he was doing, his art, the culture, whatever you want to call it. He wasn't blatantly stealing it, but I feel like the Super Bowl was just the climax, the end, because not only did he piss on Prince, even after Prince's family were like, "No, don't do this,"
he lied
and
to
he still did it. Sorry. And then he didn't do anything for Janet Jackson, which he basically killed her career. And we're in the Me Too era or whatever, so
and no one talks about that. And
because her career basically went stagnant after that.
He beefed with Prince while he was alive, too.
And he blew up after that. And not to mention, he went on a world tour with Jay-Z.
Suit and tie.
Plus, you factor in, it just wasn't even that good. Like,
it was trash.
Like, it was, like, objectively, it was not even good. Like,
I didn't watch it,
bro. Like if you could have, like I said, you did a tour with Jay-Z. You could have brought him out for half a verse. You could have brought out Beyonce. You have a song with Beyonce and Jay-Z. You could have brought her out for a cameo. You could have brought Janet Jackson out for a cameo. Shoot, you could have brought out NSYNC. But no, the point is you wanted all the attention on you. The point is you had the world on you, and that's what you gave us. You gave us a subpar performance. The
album sucked.
Besides that, the point is the Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be the best 15 minutes that you have. And I don't feel like you gave me that, first off, because even Justin Timberlake fans didn't feel that way. Even Justin Timberlake fans who have been to his shows have said that was not a live show. He's much better live. But you factor that into all the different things he pissed on, all the different people who helped him, who he didn't shed light on. Shoot, Beyonce even brought out Destiny's Child because that's what the fans wanted. But no, you ignored the culture, you ignored the fans, you ignored your own creativity, and you just gave us mediocrity. And it's like, as much as I like Justin Timberlake, and as much as he has some songs that I like, I just don't mess with bro anymore. Besides that, I know last week's show I kind of had a real happy gleaming moment. KB made fun of me for being corny afterwards, which I probably was, but
I did.
The fact is, man, this world is crazy, and I think anytime you have a chance to really create something that could stick, you got to go for it. Whether it's this podcast, broadcast, whatever you want to call it.
Program.
Whether it's this network, whether it's your blog, whatever the case is, man, create, because people are always looking for content, and people always want to hear new voices, new faces. And for us, I know that's the biggest thing is there's nobody out there like us. There's not a sound out there like us. There's not a show out there that covers the scope of everything that we just covered in this 1 hour long broadcast. So personally, I hope that you will like this show. I hope that you'll give us a call. You'll shout us out on Twitter. You'll subscribe, whatever the case. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to take our game to the next level. And hopefully y'all will come along for the ride. So that's pretty much all I got. Other than that, man, I had some fire-ass brisket on Sunday. And I had way too many Dos Equis. And, yeah, my doctor tells me I should stop drinking. But why are you going to take away the one little thing that brings me joy in this world?
The buffer.
Yeah.
In your mid-20s.
Yeah, I'm good. All right, so this is the Touchdowns and Tangents show on the Good News radio station. I'm Pete D. Camarillo.
I'm Kenneth Frank James Barry.
You can catch us again next week and every Thursday after Thursdays at 8-ish. You can catch us throughout the week on the regular podcast show. And we'll also have a bunch of different topical bits and shows coming on throughout the week. So trust me, you're going to want to follow us on Instagram, TDs_tangents. You're going to want to follow us on Twitter. You're going to want to follow us on Facebook. Besides this great show, we have a pre-show. We have teasers. Kenny shares memes. Kenny gives rants. I give rants. Trust me, this is an audio brand you're going to want to get on board with. Anything else I left out?
Yeah. You hated what I came up with the title for a past episode, but the conglomerate really is manifesting itself.
Yeah, man.
I really just mean that, like, in your own life, no matter who you are, like, you have the chance to change it and make it something you can be proud of. Oh, what? I can't get emotional?
No, man, because I was wrapping it up. But yeah, the
bottom line is, it's okay to be your own boss. Because a lot of us don't want to be doing what we're doing forever.
And don't give away your creative genius.
Never give up your autonomy.
Okay. So, Twitter, TDs_tangents. Instagram, TDs_tangents. Facebook, Touchdowns with Tangents. SoundCloud, TDs_tangents. Apple Podcast Store, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Touchdowns and Tangents. You can email us.